Hey, I'm glad you're here. Why don't we have a nice discussion with Spirit on what you need to hear right now? And there are going to be 3 piles to choose from if you wish, or you can watch them all, or whatever you feel like. We've got pile 1 here. Oh my God. That's not going to work. With the egg stone. And then pile 2 with the sanctuary. Okay. And pile 3 with soul agreement. Oh, shit. There we go. Okay. So, go ahead and choose your pile. Trust yourself. And I'll see you over there. Okay, hello, pile number 1. So each pile got 2 cards. And so as you know, your first one was the egg stone here. And it says feminine power, embodiment, and fertility. And the second card you got, okay, is the road is clear. You know what to do. Walk it your way. Embodiment, feminine power, sort of drawing to you through embodiment. Through embodiment. And we see here that it says to walk it your way, which is really indicative of that concept of embodiment. That what you want to bring forward is, really how you need to I want to say become, but that, kind of sounds like you're stepping away from being yourself. But ultimately, sometimes, we find, don't we, that most of the time we're not being ourselves. And sometimes when we want something and we're really, recognizing that it's a heart desire, the only way to achieve something that's a heart's desire is to embody that. And recognizing, with that embodiment, how what's in your heart is who you are. And that's why, when we talk about what we want to manifest, what we want to bring into reality, it's always so important to really listen in. Is this what my heart wants? And how do you really know? Well, you can always tell by, like for me, I can sense like a kind of like bubbling up, like it gets really like bubbly and excited over something that my heart like really wants to experience. And then, there may be other things that I feel like, oh, I should be doing this, or maybe this seems like something that I don't know would look good on paper or something, but my heart on some of those things, right, would have like a dropping feeling, like dread, resistance, uninterest. And so there, it's clear. Now oh, I don't want to do this. This isn't in my heart. Oh, I really do want to do this. Look at how my heart is responding to the idea. And from these two cards, it's clear that you have something that you want to create. And what Spirit is saying is, okay, look, the road is clear. Walk it your way. Sometimes when we want to bring something into being, and this is normal and can sometimes be really helpful. You look at others who have accomplished the same thing or something similar, and you see how they did it. And that's okay, right? It's giving you input, feedback, knowledge, and understanding. But at the end of the day, if this is from your heart, if this is what you deeply desire, why would you do it in any other way, other than your way? And, everybody has their own experiences in life. Maybe some people really know who they are and they've had a solid upbringing, and their parents helped them to understand how to connect to themselves and express themselves, authentically. But that's not everyone, and a lot of times we find, all sorts of weird interactions in the home, and they lead to confusion and misperception, and a lot of times, right, they lead to us not understanding how to authentically exist and express. And so then you're ending up doing things that just, well, that's what everybody else is doing. And, oh, I was just told to do it this way because, hey, well, everybody else does it like that and it works for them, But, hey, at some point, right? Especially when you're dealing with what you actually want, you have to come to the real that I can't do this like anybody else. Even if other people have achieved this before, I need to be doing this my way because it's for me anyway. And it's what I want. And hey, who cares what other people would say if I'm doing this in an unconventional way? And it may be hard to say who cares. But Spirit is definitely urging and encouraging you to try. Just take your time and see if there's a way that you can find how to embody what you desire, doing it in your unique way. Okay, let's see if we can get some tarot on this. Let me move these. Oh, lots of pinks I noticed as well. I don't know if that picks up. But it's very actually very pink on this card. Can you even see that? Okay, so let's get some tarot on this. I think I'm gonna have to move the mic somewhere else. Oh, no. Bit janky. Hope you're having a wonderful day. Okay. Let's see. Spirit, how can we clarify a little bit more for pile number 1 what you wish to tell them? Oh, damn. Shit. Okay, so the first card that you got actually that popped off to the side is Lu, Judgment. And then we've got this 3 of Swords card. They're under ice. Okay. There's like a bunch of cards that just dumped out. And there's like no room. Okay. So I'm just gonna, let's just unfold them one at a time here. Maybe I can. Oh my god. Okay, I guess. Okay. Okay, so we've got the Ace of Swords. Followed by the Page. And then we've got the Moon. The Wheel of Fortune. Where is it? Oh, there we go. Go down. Okay, there we go. 4 of Cups. Yeah, I gotta figure out how to put this. Okay, maybe I can just kind of like. Not at all. Oh my god, okay. Well, let's just talk about these first 3. And I'll just place, oh my god. I'll just place the other ones on top. Okay. What I find interesting is that the 3 of Swords is in the middle. Okay. Yeah. So it's clear that you've definitely experienced pain, and ultimately I would say it's in the realm of expressing yourself. And it could also relate to, feminine power and the feminine expression within you, just having to do with softness, gentleness, attraction, creation. But then we have judgment and the Ace of Swords on either side. And so here's how I see it. Where you're at now, Spirit is saying, is consuming the pain that you've had in the past. Okay? It's basically like we're doing this. 8. We're saying, hey, consuming it. Consuming it with what? Rebirth. Renewal. Which has to do with you. The rebirth of the actual you coming forward. And the Ace of Swords is really like the truth. Like you are stepping into a new beginning of life, being reborn from, the ashes of this past pain that you had to endure, into your truth, into who you actually are, authentically expressed. And when we bring in these other 4 cards, which I will attempt to do. I don't have much room here. Yes, no. Okay. All right, no, it works. It's kind of like saying, okay, like Ace of Swords, new beginning, but we can see, with Page of Swords that it's like, hey, you're new at this. And, with the moon, it could be that there are a lot of unknown things, as a page, as someone who is just starting out, trying to stand in your truth, trying to express who you authentically are. There's a lot of unknown to that. It's a whole new world. And it can also represent, sort of the lifting and bringing up to the surface of things within you that you've never really been able to even address, or maybe you don't even know they're there because you never had the chance to express who you really are and to be your natural self. And, we cover up this 3 of Swords as an indicator of what happened in the past is done. How they treated you, how you were unable to express yourself and be your natural self with others around you accepting it is over. And we see that with the wheel here, It's indicative of, hey, your fortune is turning around. And where you used to maybe be in a very low vibration, negative time, it's turning into positivity and joy and life because you are now getting the chance to step out into the light. as your natural authentic self. This moon is saying it's rising up now into the light, coming from the depths under the surface of where it used to reside. It's now rising up into the light, where you now get to be who you are, unhindered. There's, no more judgment, no more condemnation, and restriction from others. And I wonder about this Four of Cups, because there can be a few meanings, So let's. Oh my God! There was a card. There was a card that had flipped over. I didn't even recognize it. It is the Page of Wands. What's at the back? The back of the deck is the High Priestess. Okay. So, from what I see here, if we take that Page of Wands as Spirit's instant response to what the Four of Cups is, I would definitely say that this Four of Cups is something unexpected coming in, something that's going to ignite you and help you on this journey of expressing yourself and being who you really are and embodying that self in your daily life to bring about what is in your heart. And this High Priestess, it could be that what's coming in is, messages from Spirit telling you, like giving advice and guidance or encouragement, and ideas. But it could also mean, tap in more. Listen in deeper. You definitely have what it takes to connect to Spirit on a deeper level. And now that you're trying to step into who you really are, that call to connect to Spirit is even greater. Because the more you connect to Spirit, the more you go within, the more you come to know who you really are. And the more you come to know who you really are, every day, every moment, you're going within, you're connecting to that, the more you can express it in an authentic and clear way. So I would say be encouraged, because it looks like something unexpected and exciting is on the horizon for you, that I think goes along with this change that you're implementing as of now, to be more authentic, to be more connected to yourself, and to express that more and more every day. And I would say from Spirit to you that they want to congratulate you and say good job noticing this, recognizing this, and having the courage to step off into this unknown. It's so unknown, and the unknown is scary, because you don't know what to expect. You don't know what you're going to find. But Spirit is saying, hey, it's going to be good. Even though it's scary, even though you don't know what you're going to find in the dark of the unknown, there's the encouragement of this reading telling you it's going to be good. And there's also the encouragement that, hey, any endeavor that is authentic to who you really are is always blessed. No matter how situations may seem at first, you will find that they all benefit you, because all of them were geared from your intention and your purpose toward your authentic self. And on that note, remember, This is in your authority and willpower to achieve. You're deciding, you're choosing of your own will to make this happen. And it's not up to anybody else. And it's not up to circumstances, You can, through your perception, make any circumstance benefit you. And it's not about control, it's about how you see it and how much you're willing to trust yourself through it. And you've got this. Listen in. And that will help you understand how to trust more and more. I think that's all that Spirit wants to tell you. Good luck on your journey. And be proud of yourself. You're doing great. I'll see you next time. Okay, welcome pile number 2. So, every pile got 2 cards. Your first card, as you know, is the Sanctuary. This is a card you chose. It says harmony and balance, joy and contentment. Look at that pretty rainbow. And then your second card you got this really cool card. There's another rainbow there. That's so cool. That says pave your own way. Leadership, courage, forge, don't follow. It's kind of a similar message to pile 1, if you felt drawn. And yeah, that is like such a similar message. Let me pull some cards just to like make sure here. Oh, sorry. Okay. Harmony and balance. Yeah. You'll find harmony and balance within your own leadership. And leadership, has to do with, basically taking charge and responsibility over your own life. Even if, for example, you, work in some company and, you have to have a team under you. Regardless, leadership is more about you and your life than it will ever be about you and others. Because we can't tell others what to do. We can only be an example. And the leadership within us is for us and over us, over our own thoughts, our own heart, and our own choices. And when you take that charge and that authority and step into like, okay, yeah, this is what I need to do, and I'm just gonna step up and do it, everything becomes really safe. Actually, I'll share this. So like I was with someone and I would always have these dreams because they would always want to drive. Like I never drove whenever I was with them because they always want to drive. And I never felt safe. It was so disconcerting to ride with them. And so I would always have these nightmares of like them just like driving us off a cliff, or like the road would just be over a gorge. Nothing underneath us, like just a void. And they would just drive us right off over the railings and into the chasm beneath. And then I would just wake up, traumatized. Oh my God, I almost died in my dream. And so finally done and free and, all of that. So recently I had a similar dream, but this time I was in the driver's seat. And so when all of a sudden, like, I seemed to lose control of the car and it started going off a cliff, well, not the cliff, the road, I was in the driver's seat and I saw, oh, there's a road underneath. And so I just aimed for that road and landed it fine, smoothly. And I felt so safe and relaxed and joyful because, yeah, okay, I went through something scary, but because I was taking charge, I was in the driver's seat, it was safe. And I think that must be a message for you here, is that you will not feel safe when you have other people doing for you and making decisions for you, and basically taking charge over you. Like, the only way you are going to feel safe, right? We have sanctuary here, is within your own leadership. So let's see what the tarot has to say. Okay. You're becoming safe. All right. So, what does pile 2 need to hear? Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. Why do these keep popping and not coming out? Okay. Okay, Knight of Pentacles. The Hanged Man. Okay, what else do we got? Oh my. Oh my God. Let me get that. Hold on. Oh my God. Your cards are popping. Popping to the point. And that's interesting, like how it popped the Hanged Man off. Are you feeling, a sense of like waiting? Or, hold on, fuck, how do you do this? The seashell broke. Yeah. Like this? Oh, okay. Ah! Okay. Yeah, are you feeling a sense of like waiting and, having to just hang there? Right? We see a Knight of Pentacles. Everything's so slow. Oh, I feel that for sure. But, okay, right? The cards flipped out and made this go all over the place. Okay. Which I think is like Spirit saying, girl, don't worry. The period of having to kind of just hang there and be sort of in limbo mode. Sometimes, well, obviously, right? When you're in it, it feels like 100 million years. But as you're willing to just be slow, take your time. It's okay. Be very slow. Chill out. Watch TV. Do what you need to do and then take a break. And just be willing. Okay, I'm in this for the long haul. So if my day is like not super ultra constructive, but I still was able to put in some effort, the effort I was capable of putting in for that day, it's a win. Because regardless, this is going to change clearly, and obviously probably sooner than you expect. But that attitude of, right, I'm taking up my own leadership over my life, and I'm willing to do it steadily and slowly over the course of time. I'm not here to rush. I'm not here to force and push and put pressure on myself to achieve and make something happen right now. I think with the Sanctuary card literally being the card you chose, that's not only what you're looking for, but that's what you need. You need a sanctuary where there's contentment, where there's inner harmony, where you feel at peace and comfortable. Because maybe there's just too much like pressure and drama and I don't know, difficulty in some regard. Maybe there's like a lot of people's expectations on you or something that's just really taking your peace away and also making you feel disempowered. And what's needed is for you to pave your own way. Okay? Pave your own way. You are your own leader. Who are they to tell you what to do? Okay? Because they don't know who you are fully, right? Relationship is a constant getting to know. We can never sit there and say, oh, yes, I know this person fully. What do you mean? We are creative beings that are constantly growing and evolving. Okay? So somebody can't sit there and say, well, this is who you are and this is what you need to do and how you need to live your life. What do they know? And it's hard to stand up for ourselves in situations like that. And, hey, be compassionate, be patient, hang in there. Okay? Because it's, it's not, I don't really feel like everybody is, out to get us. And they're just harmful in their intentions with everything they do. No, they don't even realize that they're, trying to control you. Nobody knows that they're trying to control with all the pressure and expectation that they put on others. They have no idea. So that's not the issue here. The issue is, what's in your heart and your willingness to take up the leadership and the responsibility for that, despite what others may be trying to tell you. You still have that responsibility to yourself. And it's up to you as the leader of your life to, make those decisions and do for yourself or not. You will not be happy like my dream story. You're not going to feel safe and you're not going to feel happy with somebody else trying to run your life. It really boils down to you doing it for yourself. And there will be such a sense of empowerment. I know that like initially it may seem scary and like something you don't want to do, but trust me, the kind of empowerment you begin to feel is on another level. And then you realize, wow, I really want this. I want to take leadership over my life. I do not want somebody else in the driver's seat because they're just going to drive me off a cliff and then I'm going to die. You know what I mean? All right, let's see what these cards that popped up onto the floor are. Oh, okay. First, we've got the Knight of Cups. Oh my God, can you see that? Hello. Ah, there we go. Knight of Cups. And then we've got Justice. Got that lovely Two of Cups. And then last but not least, we have an Eight of Wands. Wonderful. Okay. Beautiful. So, the Knight of Cups, I think, is really important here because, like with the Knight of Pentacles, we're talking about going slow. We're talking about being steady and just determinedly being consistent toward what you want every day. And even if it's small effort, hey, small effort is way better than no effort because small effort can stack. And then suddenly you realize, oh, I was consistent even though it was small effort. And look at this huge result that I achieved. And let me tell you that when you're consistent, even in small effort, it produces such a firm and solid foundation within what you're consistent in. It makes you steady in it, and it makes you feel more confident in it because you took so much time developing and consistently putting into it. You're going to feel really confident within whatever you're trying to achieve because you took that time. So with the Knight of Cups, go forward compassionately. Take your time with yourself compassionately. Be kind toward how you feel. Make sure you put in your effort, but don't overdo it to where emotionally you become drained or distraught or in any way upset. One of the biggest things that really needs to be realized or remembered is that spirit operates within gentleness, not harshness. So your life is allowed to be gentle towards you. It's allowed to be gentle. It's allowed to be kind. Because that's how spirit operates anyway. That's what spirit wants for you. To feel loved, to be treated with kindness and respect, to deal with things in a gentle way, and be dealt with in a gentle way. And if someone in your life is not treating you gently, treat yourself gently. Find ways to respond and approach and perceive whatever you're dealing with through a gentle lens. How can you be kinder to yourself? Remember, you are the leader here. You are the one that takes charge over you, over your decisions and your perception, and how you're going to respond to experiences. That's up to you. And if you start treating yourself kindly and compassionately, you will, as we all know, start to receive that back in your outer world experiences. It's just a natural way, the natural law of the universe, okay? As you are being, it's going to be shown back to you. And that's your justice, okay? That's your justice. We see, all these little rivers coming from this statue, sort of watering the land, okay? And essentially, right, the waters are, indicative of emotion. When you are treating yourself compassionately, it waters the land of your life, of your experience, of your relationships. When you're willing to do it for the long haul, take it slow, and compassionately treat yourself through everything that you do, saying, hey, it wasn't, epic effort, but you know what? It was still effort. So I applaud myself because I'm going to be able, with the little effort I'm putting in, to be consistent every day with it. And I know in faith, give yourself a little faith, a little trust that over time it will produce remarkable results. Okay, that's your justice. Your justice to you through whatever you've been through or are experiencing is your own leadership and your willingness to treat yourself compassionately through the endeavors that you want to take. And, with this Two of Cups, this particular Two of Cups, I see it as, you have the little girl and you have the magnificent mythical beast, the white stag. And here in the foreground are intertwining plants that form a heart. And I would like to note, this is in water, isn't it? Okay. To me, with this imagery, it is completely depicting your relationship with who you are on the inside. On the inside, you are a mystical being of wonder. And the more that you are willing to connect with that self, compassionately, with respect and grace and leadership, the more love just starts to pour out of you and into your life. So that the more, you see this with the Eight of Wands, things just start to happen fast. You're not expecting that in having to, go slow and, take things one step at a small time, with the tiniest effort you've ever seen, and you feel like you're just doing nothing. You're not expecting that in doing that, you could find the way to deeply connect with yourself, and then suddenly things are just going crazy fast. But that's the way of it. Go slow to go fast. Why? Because when you go slow, you're putting your attention, your consciousness, your awareness into what you're doing. Then it becomes something of quality, something of content, not just some, imagery-based thing that you packaged really well, but on the inside there's nothing at all, right? No, you put content into that. You developed through that slow pace something of quality. And so, of course, from that point, it's just going to skyrocket because you've already established such a firm foundation of what you're doing from the time that you spent on it, from the connection that you achieved with yourself through your own leadership, that the forward momentum just escalates and gets faster and faster, and you can keep up with it because of the kind of foundation that you were willing to take the time to build. So find how you can develop that sanctuary. This is the sanctuary within you. How can you develop it? How can you create, your own connection to yourself deeply and compassionately? And then be brave and be courageous and pave your way. There's even courage on this card. It's difficult to do things your own way. I don't know why. I don't know why people, humans in general, are so scared of things that are different. And yet we, we long to just be our own individual selves, and yet we're all afraid to do so. I don't know why that is. Why is it scary? I don't know. Probably because it's unknown, Oh, maybe all these other people seem to resonate with each other, so they're all doing things similarly. But here I am. I don't resonate. I'm so different. It's unknown. So be courageous. And being courageous is not, yeah, you use words and it sounds so simple. No, it doesn't even have to be scary. When you're willing to just go slow, the courage is developed. It doesn't have to be something that you have to force, and maybe that's something that you're used to, is just forcing everything into being. Well, how is that really going to work? And again, with the quality, it may look packaged well, but there's nothing in there, You want quality and authenticness. Is that a word? Authenticness. But you know what I mean. You want it to come from your authentic self being something that is real, tangible, and of such quality that it can't just crumble under, whatever may come up against it. But that takes time. So I think Spirit is really saying, are you willing to take the time for who you are and your life and what you want? If what you want is actually important to you, which of course it is, it's what you want, are you willing to put in the time for it? It takes courage to go slow. People always want instant gratification. They want the product now. And you're just going to have to say no. I'm going to go slow. Because I want it to be something of value that I can be proud of. Okay? And you're going to be very proud of this. Very proud of yourself. Because you're going to find that beautiful, mystical connection within you that no one can take away, no matter what. And that is the biggest gift from this whole thing. So, I think that's all the messages from Spirit that they wanted to tell you today. I wish you all the best of luck. I know you can do this. Stay steady. Be compassionate with yourself. Be compassionate. And just see where that can lead you. Thank you so much for joining me. And I'll see you next time. Okay, welcome, pile number 3. So you chose this card, Soul Agreement card. There are a lot of people. Is there a lot of people? Oh. No, I think those are just mountains. And it says, soul mission, soul plan, life purpose. Oh, and there's a baby there. So that could be something for a few of you. Anyway, Every group got 2 cards. So your second card is this one right here. See the beauty. Gratitude and the sacred is everywhere. It's really cool. Pile number 3. Pile number 3. So Spirit is really encouraging you to see the beauty everywhere. The beauty in the sacred. And it looks like it has to do with a soul agreement that you made before coming here. Maybe your experience right now with this soul agreement maybe doesn't feel the best. Like, why did I choose to do this? I get that. But you and I both know that, like, if you really think about it, at the end of the day, there's a lot of value in it, isn't there? You know that. So, maybe this has to do with a shift in perspective. Let's get some tarot and find out. And I know, a shift in perspective. How dare you tell me that? It can be so, like, annoying to hear that sometimes. Like, how dare you, like, this sucks, and you can't prove to me otherwise. And I get that. I really do. But, Spirit is here to empower you. And if you're in a mindset that's disempowering, well, then of course you'd want to shift your perspective, right? That way, you could be empowered again. And you deserve your empowerment. Always. Always, no matter what. God. Okay. So, Spirit, please talk with me about what you would like to share with pile 3. Okay. Oh my God. Okay, let's start there. I got 3 of Pentacles. Are you working with people? 8 of Cups. And this card. 4 of Wands. Oh my God. Okay. There we go. Okay. What's on the back of the deck? Oh, girl, you got the Wheel of Fortune. I don't know where should I put that? I'll just set it. You can't see anything. Here. Okay. Cool how the wheel, I ended up putting it on top of that. Like, look, it may not seem very enjoyable right now, but things are changing. Things are changing. So, Three of Pentacles, Eight of Cups, and the Four of Wands. Okay, cool. Oh, 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 that's so cool. Okay, so this card, like the way that it looks, and here I'll show you up close. Oh my god. Damn it. Okay, cool. So like you see these flowers in like some, there we go. It's like the swan. Some are in the dark, okay? And then all of a sudden, like, they're coming up to the light. And I want to say that's the sun, bro. I don't know. A pretty swan. That pretty swan is you. And so it kind of like makes me think of like, I guess kind of like similar to the moon card, where it's like, what is like in the dark within you is coming to the light. And that is not a negative thing. Because, we know like the Eight of Cups is about like walking away from, it could be old patterns, old beliefs, situations, and people. And we see this Three of Pentacles like right next to it, plus the Four of Wands. Like all of that indicates people. So if you're dealing with people, what I see here is you're bringing forward what needs to be released out of you. Okay, so you're working with people, you're dealing with people in a group environment. As you bring forward from within you what needs to be released, let go of, or shifted, a level up and victory is achieved in those relationships. There's three creatures here, right? Three of Pentacles, three creatures. So we're talking about how, you feel like this soul agreement is kind of crappy. And the soul agreement is always going to have to do with things that you wanted to learn. So when we talk about bringing to light in order to be released into the light of day, to be dissolved, it's that process that you agreed, that you created this soul agreement for. You wanted to learn about these things. And the way you do that is first you experience them, right? Like if they're beliefs, it's like, okay, they were instilled in you either from your parents and or, from like genetics. And then also from your experiences as you've grown through life, right? And they can kind of get stuck in there, right? Stuck in the dark of, your being. And it can cause a lot of challenge wherein something that could be fairly simple or navigatable is like really, really challenging. And actually, like we saw that. Sorry, let me look at it. Yeah, like, oh crap. You see like these mountains everywhere? It's like, oh, this is challenging terrain. Like, how the hell am I supposed to deal with this? Like, and here I am, like, sitting in the middle. It even looks like there's more hills and stuff to deal with. And it doesn't need to be that hard. But it becomes that hard with these things that were experienced or placed within you, mindsets and belief systems that you wanted to experience, right? Your soul purpose, your soul agreement to learn about. So as you're willing, because all of this requires willingness to, take a look at those, bring them to the surface, bring them to light so that they can be let go of and dissolved out of you, you are going to find, oh, wow, like this was a huge level up within me that caused a level up in my relationships, in the dealings that I'm having with these people. Like suddenly now it's not so tense or difficult or uncomfortable for some reason as I released these beliefs and these ideas, these blockages. It's like a lot more manageable, a lot easier, or even really great. On this, let's see. Yay. Like on this card, I really don't know if you can tell. Yeah, I don't know if you can tell. This is really slight. But these are actually barbed. Like they have thorns. So it's like not without challenge, right? Any kind of level up that we go through in our life is not without challenge. And the other card that was under the wheel was the King of Wands. And I feel like that's kind of what needs to be embodied here. The King of Wands, there's a sense of like such empowerment and like sovereignty over his realm. That, he can navigate any kind of thing that may come up, right? Well, how do you get to sovereignty over your own realm, your own life, your own being? If you've still got these things hidden in the dark that not only you can't see, but you don't even know how to deal with, because most of the time you don't even know they're there. It's not always because of the external circumstances that you've got a problem, and we always want to look, within first before we, take a look at somebody else, because when we, and I was talking about this with the second group, so there may be messages there for you, but when we're willing to take leadership over our own life, our own thoughts and perceptions, then the difficulties that we experience with others and with those relationships and interactions that we encounter, I mean, they really start to transform. Because irregardless of who you think is to blame, is absolutely irrelevant. There's no need for blame. All there is the need to take responsibility and leadership over yourself. And whatever somebody else is doing, will be balanced out by your energy. When you shift your energy and you just start taking, charge over yourself. And you just start, looking within, okay, what are some of the perspectives that I have? What are some of the things that I believe that are either outdated or misguided or causing a lot of misperceptions that aren't even true, And you do that, the outside will reflect that. And okay, we see this, right? We see this wheel. Hey, things are, and again with the Four of Wands, like things are turning around. Those relationships that you are currently struggling with, will absolutely turn around just as you lift some of these things up into the light. Give them a chance to be heard, be seen, so that you can learn about them and you can find the understanding of how then to let them go. And that is going to help you step into a more sovereign, empowered state. You deserve empowerment. It doesn't come from somebody else. It comes from your willpower and your leadership over yourself. I think that with the soul agreement, and Spirit saying, see the beauty and the sacredness of it in everything, there's really something important about it. And I think that's why Spirit isn't telling you like, okay, go away, like do something else, because Spirit really wants you to be here. There's something valuable not only for those around you by you being there, but also for you. And maybe it's just this, using the conditions that you're in as a way to become aware of some of the mindsets and belief systems that you hold that are really holding you back, that are really limiting you. You deserve to be the king. And when you're being disempowered, by your own mindsets, like, and when the kind of conditions and the kind of relationships that you're in can actually contribute to helping you release those mindsets, like, yeah, it's exactly where you need to be. And it's going to be exactly what you need to move forward in life. Maybe you feel like you're not really moving forward, Spirit always places us in exactly the place that we need in order for growth. Always, right? Because life is all about just growing, always. That's always what it's always going to be. Just keep growing, keep expanding, keep learning more about who you are, and life, and spirit, and relationship. And relationship is really challenging, and that's a good thing. You learn so much within things that are full of the unknown, can be confusing, and are challenging. There's value in that. And that's why we said in the beginning, like, oh, it's a perspective change, which, it's kind of surprising that we didn't get the Hanged Man, but nonetheless, right? It's a perspective change. Because, being able to have a kind of perspective that's super constructive, that's like a king, who knows himself and who rules over his environment with pure confidence. That requires a kind of perspective. You have to be able to look at everything around you, relationship included, in a kind of way that's constructive and beneficial to you. Because if you don't look at it that way, suddenly you're coming under something outside of you. And what happens? Disempowerment. You're instantly disempowered. Okay, so Spirit wants to say, hey, we want you to be empowered. We want you to achieve this level up and the ability to be your king self. And the way to do that is to use what we've given you as the means, because we've given it to you on purpose. It's exactly what you need to achieve that freedom and that level up, that victory that you need so that you can move forward and you can keep going in life. And whatever happens after that is, again, it's up to you. You are the leader of your life. You have what it takes to decide where you want to go and what you want to do. But for right now, use your situation in what it was made for, right? Because it was your soul agreement with heaven. You agreed to be in this situation. And when you shift your perspective to see the beauty everywhere, to see how it can benefit you, you have this opportunity to shift things and bring up what was holding you back so that you can learn what you were put into this whole situation, what you agreed to learn. And then from there, you're set. You can do whatever you want. And that's how life works. We look at what we're surrounded by as, oh, this is a benefit to me. Okay, how can I use it to help build me up? Nothing needs to tear you down. You just need to see it differently, and you need to see yourself differently. You are a lot less weak and victim-like than you think. This King of Wands wouldn't show up if that wasn't in your quality to be. And Spirit is saying, be this King of Wands because it's who you are and you deserve that empowerment. Use the situation to lift you up so that you can bring out and let go of those thoughts and those beliefs that are constantly disempowering you and constantly holding you back. Victory is at hand. We see it both here. Okay? You can do this. You can get through this uncomfortable situation that you're in, and you can find yourself leveled up and on a whole new playing ground. Okay? Spirit believes in you, and so do I. You can do this. You can navigate this discomfort. I know you can. So I think that is all the messages that Spirit wanted me to share with you. So good luck on your journey. I know you can do it. And I will see you next time. Bye-bye.